All right. How's it going tonight, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday, or whenever you're watching this. Hope you're doing well. So we've got about 10 days until Pidgin 3 Experimental 3 is due. And, yeah, we need to figure out what we're doing. Let's go to Endless River. And yeah, the 404 you can see up above my head is because my NAS is dead. It is almost recovered. It should be recovered tomorrow. I've got a copy about another 20 terabytes from last I checked. And that's stage 2. TLDR, I was adding disk to the Z pool, and I forgot to type RAID Z when making the virtual dev, so I didn't get a virtual dev. I got 4 disk added right into a pool. And because I didn't wipe the disk ahead of time, I used the -F flag to make it happen, and then they just assigned everything all at once, and that was a mistake. So I currently have 19 hard drives hooked up in my NAS. 19 total. There's supposed to be 13. 12 data, 1 OS. I have additional 6 right now that I copied the entire Z pool to. And I am now in the process of copying the entire Z pool back now that the original Z pool has been reconstructed to be the way it should be. And I haven't moved the new disk yet because 4 of those disks are the new disks that need to. 4 of those disks that I used to make temporary have space are the disks I was trying to add in the first place. So, but we're getting there. And it turns out almost everything that's running in my Kubernetes cluster that needs persistence, which is just about everything. I was using ZFS shares on my NAS for their persistence. So that is why you see a 404 above, because Grafana's volume is on a NFS share on my NAS, which is down. The bot in here, its database is in Postgres using a volume on my NAS. So almost everything is down home-wise. I also took down all the build agents and everything because it's been kind of stormy around here the past couple days, and all the build agents are on the same UPS where I currently have the NAS to work on it. So they are offline to make sure that the UPS has enough time to try to save the NAS if I lose power. And yeah, it's been a week. But anyways, we're gonna start doing some okay, yeah, let's finish up the preference stuff. Again, like I really wanted to get another protocol done or usable, but we do have the preference stuff. That's pretty nice. But okay, this guy is not going to happen. Well, let's just do this. We're in the query. We're going to go into the ticket. We're going to move this to experimental 4. And that'll just be that. This is not happening in this release. Boom. Oh, I missed. Yep. Wait, what? Update. Not experimental 3. Oh, okay. It didn't sync right away. Okay, yep. Then we can go here. We can hit next. We'll leave this one for now, but yeah, basically we have to cut down all the tickets that we thought we were going to put in here and go that way. Create a preference for how to display message notifications. When we create a preference, add the numbers. This is not happening in time. Yep. This is how we get the tickets down. I would still like to get this done. At online offline counts, this will move till next release. But yep, this is how we get our tickets down. Oh shit. We're gonna leave this open because, well, we'll find out how many users we have if we don't get this done because people will complain. This one we could still sneak in. That one shouldn't be too bad. Auto reconnect. I don't think this is happening this release. Not in 10 days, not with adequate testing. Also, we really should put together a system log. How's it going, SWK? Thank you for the 8 months. Greatly appreciate it. How you doing tonight? Oh, you probably haven't heard unless you've been reading our Discord. Yeah, I accidentally screwed my NAS, which is why there's a 404 page above me and a whole bunch of stuff is not working properly. Yeah, TLDR, I did Z pool add NAS disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, disk 4. When what I should have done was this. So, here, I suppose I can share some pictures for people who aren't on the Discord. No, yeah, I shared some good ones with John yesterday. Where is it? So, number 1, this is fun. Never would I have imagined that I would have 19 drives in my machine. It's more complicated than that. Then... Oop, that's not what I meant. Oh, we're over here. Then... Here's the setup. The blue cables are additional drives. Everything else, this is a... it's supposed to have 16 bays, or 15 bays for drives, but realistically, only 4 of them are usable in each. So there's 4 drives here, 4 drives here, 4 drives here, and then 5 on top here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then there's a USB NVMe enclosure hanging off the front on a USB port. Oh, you can't see it, but the OS drive is Velcroed over here. How's it going, Fallen? Welcome, welcome. You'll see, so this is a 750 power supply, 750 watt. I might have had power to run these drives off of it, but the problem is I didn't have power connectors. So hold on. Let me find, where's that other picture? To try to give you a better idea of what all the discs look like in this thing. Is that, no, that's different. Copy image link. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the OS drive. And yeah, this is the current recovery situation. The drives are slogging and ass are Velcro to the chassis as well. Nice. Yeah, this is just an OS drive. Like, I don't give a shit about the OS. I can reinstall the OS. It's the data I care about. So all right, so after I got everything copied to these drives, well, these drives in the center and these drives. Oh, also you'll notice the drive rails for the original drive rails for the chassis are this bluish purple ones here. Can't really see them there. The yellow ones here are 3D printed because I don't know where I put those, so I 3D printed them. And they worked like a charm. Okay, so this is the way that the NAS is supposed to look. So when I added those drives in, not under a RAID Z device, everything got all fucked up. It would have worked, it would have been fine, but I wouldn't have any redundancy between them, right? So this pool is consisted of 2 RAID Z devices. RAID Z1 works like your typical RAID 5 RAID 5. Just it's ZFS RAID, not, hardware RAID, whatever. So, over these 4 drives, there's a parity between them. I can lose one of these drives, I'll be fine. If I lose 2 of them, I think I'm in bad shape. I don't remember the exact things, but I believe that's how it goes. Google used to Velcro all drives in the servers. Yeah, because they were putting 4 machines in a 1U, I know. So what happened is when I put this in, I shared the text directly on Discord, but I didn't, I'd have to dig for it, but it should have been after that, because I couldn't mess up until I had the rails. Yeah, so at 12:28 a.m. I pasted this into the Pidgin Discord. I fucked up. Right? These are supposed to be under a RAID Z device. So these had no redundancy or anything. Yeah, so you have more spending money than I do. Let's go with that. So yeah. So these are supposed to be under a RAID Z device. So these have no redundancy. These drives, if I would have lost any of them, I would have lost data. Right? That's not what I wanted. And this happened because I got lazy and I didn't run wipefs on these drives before adding them to the pool. Right? So the command I actually ran was this. And it should have been this without the force. And the problem was I didn't wipe anything off of the discs. So they still had, yeah, -F rip. Yeah, exactly. You know what I learned out of this entire thing? Don't ever, ever, ever pass -F to any ZFS command. Just don't. So wipefs is a tool that'll get rid of all the RAID signatures, all the file system signatures, all that stuff. It just gets rid of it to make the drive look blank. Historically, maybe you've DD'd zeros to, I don't know, the first couple sectors of a hard drive and the last couple sectors. To get rid of that stuff, wipefs knows where they are and it'll just nuke them for you. And you can wipe all of them or selectively wipe them or whatever. It takes 2 seconds to do. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's easy peasy. And yeah, you avoid all these issues. So what we ended up doing, what is it? scopy portal save NAS script. Or is it NAS save script? I think it's NAS save script. So to give you a rough idea, this is what I'm looking like. Yeah, the back of the NAS is a couple states away at Reckonaro's house. And yeah, and don't bother with that because like if you have MD admin or something, it puts it at the end of the disk, so your DD command's not going to get it. So yeah. But yeah, so like if I lose anything, I still have that copy there, but it's 8.5 hours away and it's still 65 terabytes. So even at 10 gigabit, it's going to take a bit. But anyways, so these were the new drives. These were the 16 terabyte existing. Then the temporary drives were the 8 terabytes and the 4 terabytes. Existing layout looked like this. This is how it was supposed to be. For the backup step, what we ended up doing was I created 18 terabyte sparse files. I don't have that part in here. I learned something interesting during this. Extended 4 maxes out at 16 terabytes for a file size. That's the max file size you can have on extended 4. So the /sparse, this is where the NVMe drive in the USB carrier on the front of the machine comes into play. I quickly turned that into a Z pool so that I could create 18 terabyte files, which then became the sparse files to replace the 18 terabyte drives. There was only about 150 megs got copied onto each one of these drives. In the time it took me to realize that it was fucked up, mostly because I let it snapshot overnight and I didn't export the pool. So I had to replace those to free up those disks, right? Then after we replaced all that, we thought we might need to resilver. We didn't. ZFS took care of it. When I replaced the first one, ZFS started a resilver, but while that was resilvering, I replaced the other 3, and then it just did a resilver process and it was good to go. So now that at this point the 18 terabyte drives are free, those are the new drives I messed up with. So then did wipefs to see what was there. Everything was expected. Use -A to wipe all of them. Again with the next disk, next disk, good to go. Then we created a non-redundant pool, so there's no redundancy in the pool, right? So if you look, this is the 18 terabyte drives, the 8 terabyte drives, and the 4 terabyte drives. Make sure everything looks good. Create -N as a dry run. Then everything looked good, so we got rid of the -N for the dry run to actually create the pool. Then send the data from the NAS pool to the temporary pool. So ZFSN large. So do all this multiple steps to make sure everything looks all right in the send, right? So do a dry run of the send just to see what it's going to do. Then this dry run's not supposed to be here, but whatever. But then you dry run the send and pipe it to ZFS receive -N, that's dry run, with S for a resume token, and make sure everything looks good. Then, if that all looks good, use this command, hit up, put date, there should be date semicolon before this, right? and then do the send, but put PV in there so we can see how far it is, monitor it. And then, you know, get rid of the -n and ZFS receive, and then do date again so we can see the end. So that happened yesterday at like 2 p.m. Then the recreate, this is what I did last night. So we exported temporary to re-import it read-only. So nothing, no data can change on the pool at this point. The pool, the non-redundant pool where all the data is now read-only. It's still read-only, that's fine. You know, everything's happy, everything's good. Then very, very carefully destroy the redundant pool so that we can recreate it. Again, clean up the drives. This is the first RAID Z, second RAID Z. Go ahead and recreate the Z pool. I don't have the -n in here. I know, yeah, I do. It's right there. Then create it without the -n. Then send, do the same thing back for the send. And this is currently where we are. So, after this step finishes, I can then go and destroy the, or making sure all the data and everything is there and looks good. I can then destroy the temporary pool, wipe FS on the 18 terabyte drives, and then add them properly. And then I will be done with this fucking nightmare. But yeah, so I'm moving a terabyte about every 30 minutes or 2 terabytes an hour. But when you're moving 60 terabytes, that's a lot of hours. That's still 30 plus hours. So yeah, this has been fun. No, I have a 10 gig NIC to put in the NAS, but the problem is, so this is a PCIe 8X. There's another one here, which is where the other SAS card is, and then this is a 16X, or these might be 16s actually. And then this is a 16 for the video card, which I use for transcoding. Everything else is a PCIe 1X. So I don't have any room to put a new NIC, which is dumb. Unless maybe I got a SAS card with 4 ports on it. But yeah. I also have a new heatsink to, or new, whatever, cooler for the CPU to put in. Because, so Reconaro gave me the board and the stuff because he wasn't using it. And he said he thought he cross-threaded the screws on the heatsink. So if I take it off, it's probably going to fall apart and not work. So I bought a new one because I want to re-grease it because I haven't done anything with this since I put it in this chassis. Well, actually, since I got the board from him like 5 years ago or something. Actually, what, that wasn't 5 years. I don't remember if it was pre-COVID or post-COVID, but whatever. But yeah, so like I still need to go and do that. Just like, oh. And then I can't put the 10 gig Ethernet in because there's no spot to put it. So, but yeah, you'll see here if you look real close too. You'll see there's a paperclip jump in that power supply. I had to go buy paper clips because I didn't have any. So, yep, that's the thing. But I did end up buying, they're in the basement though, ATX plugs that do that jump but give you a switch. So yeah, good old paperclip jump. Yeah. How's it going, Jason? Welcome. You've done worse on PSUs, yeah. But yeah, so the NAS will be ready soon. It's at 40. I checked it right before stream. I have 40.3 terabytes copied back out of 64.1. So, yep, it'll be there soon. And then I can get rid of this clusterfuck and go back to normal. So, yeah, we're getting there. Music's a little loud today. There you go. So yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, so Jason, you missed the initial thing. So basically what happened was I ran this when I should have ran this. No, as I say here, I fucked up because this is what it did. And I did this Sunday night, Monday morning, whatever you want to call it. So I have been trying to fix it since then without actually losing any data and without having to go to the physical backup in Ohio. And if you're wondering, how do I have a physical backup of 60 terabytes in Ohio? It's called we seeded it through the mail. And then just, let it keep up from there. So, but yeah. So with ZFS, as long as you still have the snapshot, you can do an incremental snapshot send between everything. And that's what we did. So ZFS snapshot shipping. Yeah, exactly. So I made a manual snapshot while still letting ZNAP Zen go. So I could still keep everything running, sent him the hard drives. He plugged them into his NAS. ZFS sent them to his NAS. Because we just bought cheap drives for it too, right? It was all like Western Digital Blues or something. We just needed, it didn't need to be redundant or anything. It just needed to have all the data. And then, he imported the pool. ZFS sent it to his normal NAS where it had redundancy and everything, and boom, we're in business. Then I set up ZNAP Zen to push to him, and we're good to go. I just swapped out all 10 discs early this year, 16 terabyte each. It just took about just forever. So it was 34 hours to go from the existing pool to the temporary pool. I'm currently about 24 hours in, just a little bit more than that. And I am 2/3 of the way through that, which would be 36-ish hours. So, yeah. Doing in-place upgrade is so slow. Yeah. I can see that. Honestly, I wonder, would it be faster to create a brand new pool on another machine and send? It almost seems like it would be, rather than resilvering constantly, right? I mean, assuming you have the chassis and parts for it and everything. But like, the funny part is, like, this power supply was just sitting on my shelf, brand new. So like, that's like, you can see the twist tie here. That's just, I untwisted enough to pull out the SATA and 4-pin Molex connectors and the ATX one, and then kind of reconfigured the ATX one in here so that it, stayed safe. You sure I'm trying to have an alpha box work as long as they somehow did that? Yeah, I know. But yeah, the funny part is, so when I first tried to bring these in, and I had the pool exported. I had the main pool exported. It's named NAS. Well, the 8 terabytes and the 4 terabytes, these were different iterations of the same NAS. The data that's on the SAS drives now got sent from these drives. Well, these 4 terabyte drives got sent to the 8 terabyte drives, and the 8 terabyte drives got sent to the 16 terabyte drives that are currently in there. So when I tried to import it, it was like more than one pool named NAS, and I'm like, fuck. So I've learned all sorts of fun things about, sure, I can show you some of this. So LSBLK, right? I've learned a lot of cool things about this over the past couple days. So number one, if you say no deps, it'll just show you the main drive letters. And if you do -O plus WWN, you'll get the full drive or the worldwide number for the drive too. So that's all your pools are named Tank. Jeez. Right? So cool little things you can learn about LSBLK. Because as I had to keep referencing these because the everything kept getting like you're supposed to use the worldwide numbers for everything because the disk names will can change randomly, and they do. It took 5 weeks to do 10 resilvers? Jesus. That's nuts. But, yeah. So, cool little tricks there learned. That's good. But, yeah. Oh, Jason. So you might recognize these blue cables. These were in one of the scrap giveaways at one point. And, yep. So, those of you who don't know, Shurja and I used to work at an OEM in town. And occasionally, like once every 5 years or something, they'd have scrap bins, and they'd just let you take whatever you wanted from it. So I saw these cables one time, and I took them. They're grouped together, 3 SATA cables. They're actually labeled for drive 0 through 2, and then 3 through 5. So I don't know, they work fine. Some of them thought they looked the same as what I still have. Yeah. Like I'm digging through my box of shit. I'm like, oh, these are still wrapped. Huh. I wonder if they work. Clink, 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 clink. I'm like, oh yeah, they do. Sweet. But the power setup here is a little gross. So you can see here. Oh yeah. So here's a 4-pin Molex to a 4-pin Molex to SATA connector to a SATA splitter to the 8 terabyte drives. And then these ones are just normal SATA power connectors. Because I wanted to keep them on different rails. I didn't want to put 5 drives on the same output from the power supply. So yeah. Adapter to adapter and praying they don't have issues. Yeah. So, well, it's like, yeah. So I exported the NAS pool, the redundant pool, when I was done with it, and I wanted to re-import it and as read-only and double-check the data sets. But when I did that, it couldn't find the sparse files anymore. So it's like, well, I guess we're screwed. Like, I guess I can't. So, I don't know. So I exported the pool because I thought you could ZFS destroy or zpool destroy on an exported pool, but turns out you can't. But I was trying to be careful with the destroy, make sure I didn't typo anything or anything weird or anything, right? So at this point, it was just like, all right, wipe FS and go from there. So, yeah. Mandatory scrapping. Got way too many Dell trays from there because machines never came with them. Nice. Yeah, but yeah, wipe disk from SysTest. Yeah, is that why I keep calling it wipe disk? Because like the tool is actually called wipe FS. I keep calling it wipe disk for some reason, and I kind of forgot about the SysTest one. I think we did use DD on that one, didn't we? I don't think wipe FS existed at that time. It was using DD? Okay, yeah, you'd remember more often than I did, right? So, like, we can say wipe fs/dev SDA here, or it's not actually going to delete it. Don't worry, we're not doing anything, right? Okay, so that's... What the fuck is SDA? That has a DOS partition on it. Oh, okay, Mike, yep, okay. So, these two are ZFS. So, SDB, if we look at SDB... right, you get 2 partition tables, so they're offsets, and then a partition master boot record. And then if you do the -A, it'll just delete those, right? So whatever this finds, it'll delete. And likewise, if we look at SDC, so similar setup, but different partition offsets, right? Oh yeah. But yeah, you can also tell which ones to delete too, if you only want to delete one of them, whatever. Yeah, this is way better. I found this a while ago. I think it was when I was looking for something for ZFS. And yeah. Oh, it'll even give you JSON output if you want. It causes everything to be done except the right call, right? Offset, but so WipeFS can erase file system RAID or partition table signatures, magic strings, from the specified device. To make the signatures invisible for lib, block ID, WipeFS does not erase the file system itself nor any other data from the drive. Just gets rid of the signatures, right? So it takes seconds. And then it automatically syncs a partition table and everything for you, and it's good to go. And I just noticed YouTube chat is not working. How the hell do I refresh YouTube chat? I guess I just refreshed the page, huh? Yeah, I know. It's just that whole thing is just a nightmare upon nightmares. Hey, there was some Python stuff in there. You're welcome. I was trying. I'm sighing because we'll just do the thing so he can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, that whole system was a thing for sure. Sublime? Why are you on 6? Oh, because 6 went up here. Okay. Move 6 down here. I don't care about Ansible right now. This can go over to 7, sure. Oh, but I want this on 5. Okay, so... reference slash Seagull index.html classes statements. Oh no, I need that error enum. My bad. I'm not even in the right spot. Error domains statement error. Then what did you ask? What am I not understanding? But it would make more sense to put it over the enumeration line directly. What do you mean? You mean here? Main comment, but inline above the new... Okay, so... Like this? Okay, deleted from the main block, added inline there. So the thing is, GTK has it the way I just deleted, which I didn't check to see if those work anywhere, but that's where I got the idea. That's where I tried that from, and it didn't work. That's not the right page. Then I found the other examples. Son of a bitch, why does it work? I mean, that's fine. I guess it's just looking for the comment and going from there. I don't know that I like it that way better or not. I mean, it's more... Like, at this point, yeah, All right, I don't know. I don't care. This works. I don't care. If you're okay accepting it that way, I don't care. Wait, the rest of the enum didn't mess up, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay, looks fine. All right, sure, whatever. So I don't care as long as it works. Oh, I don't need that. Come back here, go back here. So it's just weird that there are 2 comments in a row, so I'm gonna try to fit. Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that. It's just, it feels weird having it in the enum itself when we don't do that anywhere else. But if that works and that's a good way to do it going forward, I think that's okay, right? It's like, here's the overall one, that anything that was new, we do separately in line. That's fine, right? No problem with that. That's a-okay. It just feels weird and wasn't something I even considered, right? It was like, oh, okay, sure. I was like, I'm not seeing the right part of the diff here. All right, yep, good. Right, because like in the old version of this, right? Oh, no. Okay, I guess I got... Oh, no, no, no. If we go back... No. Okay, never mind. I was thinking I had this left up here, but I didn't. But that's okay. That's fine. I would just copied and pasted it in here and went from there. Move the new enum member documentation in line with the declaration. Did I get rid of an extra? I didn't think I did. Right now, I had just changed... Hold on. Let's look at the full diff. Because that'll tell us if I did actually delete something. Son of a bitch, I did. Oh, right, because I just put the synths on it. Okay. Okay. That didn't copy everything? Yeah, so I just put the synths tag on the end because I'm dumb. No, apparently I added a new line in there too, so let's fix that quick. Because it's just extra, it doesn't need to be there. Alright, there we go. That looks much better. Everything else should be the same if we compare to the last revision. Yep, so that got deleted. Moved to line 73. Yep. Cool. Publish. And once this lands, we can do the grab the read results into an object. Yay! That should be relatively straightforward. It's just going to suck because it needs a bunch of unit tests too, and the unit tests are complicated. But all right. So we're just gonna get rid of a bunch of this. All right. So, oh, that's right. We're back in issue. Oh, now we're shipping. CP Seagull clean HE up default. HE pull -U. Build RBT land -R 4020. All right, I guess we'll do that right away. Then we'll come back to the issues. I want to try to get this code done as fast as possible, because if we can at least get the conversation memory, whatever you want to call it, into experimental 3, I'll be happy with that. Right? There's a bunch of stuff I want to get in experimental 3. The retro stuff took longer than I wanted it to, and we still have stuff to do there. But experimental 3, if it can have, it remembers your conversation, sweet. That'll be cool. And then my channel join hack plugin can go away and die forever, and that'll be fine. And yeah. Although in the dev environments, when we wipe, we'll still lose our conversations, which will suck, but it's okay. This was merged in. Okay, did I create the column one? I did. Doesn't look like it did. Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. This is going to go in, this is scheduled for 05. Being able to do bind bytes and column bytes. The object's more important right now than the bytes. Because the object stuff saves us a ridiculous amount of code when it comes to writing it. And we can start working on that now. Yay! Issue crew minus R bind object minus S default. So, yep. I didn't check that we got to the thing. So yeah, if we can get this done, I don't know that we'll get it done today, but we'll see what happens. And then we can cut the Seagull 04 release, and then we can pull it into Purple, or Pidgin, whatever, and then we can fix serialization of the contact manager, finally. Which... Let's see, well, this was created December 10th, and this is before we even started Seagull. So, yeah. Also, I'm limited on things I can test right now because, again, my NAS is down, and ergo, my IRC server is still running in my Kubernetes cluster, but it has a volume, which is on my NAS, which is not accessible. So, I'm going to mention this here. It's quiet, so it's cool. So all this messing with ZFS, it got me thinking about a ZFS CSI driver for Kubernetes again. And I think I have a solution for it. And Swills and I have put together a bunch of stuff for it. We have written no code yet. CSI, ZFS. But we are starting a CSI driver for ZFS. And the idea is that it'll use ZFS pools on your nodes, and ZFS send and receive them, your data sets between your nodes for where the pods are scheduled. That's the idea. There's a lot of stuff we have to do and finish reading. There was assumptions we had, and then we found the documentation and realized a bunch of our assumptions were wrong. But that's okay, because the tricky part here is making the CSI driver. Once we get to the actual make ZFS do things, it's trivial because ZFS already has all of it. We just have to glue it into Kubernetes. But then I can quit bitching about not becoming a Ceph admin, and I can have real volumes. Yeah. That aren't NFS mounts to my NAS. So that's the idea. That's the plan. But anyway, so once we get Seagull 04 out, I can dust off this branch, which should be okay. But a lot of the comments here, actually, should I? We're putting on this for now as the volume of code related to SQLite is extremely high, and we want to build something to minimize that. However, that is not going to be ready in time for experimental 1. We're just going to discard this. Yep. We've created Seagull to simplify our interaction with SQLite. However, there's no CSI that like does what we need it to do. Like if you can find a CSI plugin that does what we want, then sure. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I made that joke too. Son of a bitch. I walked right into it. I was joking around saying we should name it CSI Miami, SVU, Criminal Minds, ZFS. Something like that. And then here I am walking right into the fucking joke again. There's trying to save this review request is probably ill-advised. You're mixing the streams here. Yes, yes. Oh, I still need to fix that too. Son of a bitch. This I need to get fixed before the release. Fuck, this has been sitting for 2 months. Oh, it's Where does this freaking time go, man? That's what I want to know. Where does it go? No ZFS over iSCSI? Yeah. But yeah, like the CSI drivers for Kubernetes are like, there's so many that do so much shit, but like nobody, like there's all this stuff for like production grade clusters, whatever. And it's like, there's nothing for home labs. Like your home labs are like, well, I guess you'll use Rook Ceph and you'll learn to become a Ceph admin. It's like, no, stop. Right. So like, if you look at our docs for the driver, the intent going forward is we're not going to give you any way to create the ZFS pools. That's up to you. You're going to decide how to do your pools. We're not even going to try to fuck with that. You just give us a data set name as a parent, and then we'll do everything from there. Right. But so like my cluster does now have, how do you check this again? I don't remember, but I updated my ZFS cluster to have ZFS. Whatever. I updated my Kubernetes cluster to have ZFS, which is a little weird because I'm running Talos everywhere. But so my Talos stuff now has the ZFS extension in, and they all now have a Z pool on all of them. So it's there. And you know, for development purposes, it works great because we don't have to worry about it right now. We just, we just work on making the driver and then ZFS send and receive. And we're trying really hard to try to avoid as much state as possible, right? We want as much state handling as possible. We're trying to leave everything in ZFS as much as possible. So we'll see what happens. The one thing we do want to do though is perhaps give you the ability to import. Oh no, see, even then you could just ZFS send that. But yeah, we want to have some way for you to like be able to replicate your snapshots out. Right. So like, okay, you can ZFS import something in, but then, we can export your snapshots for you to another source. So you can actually get real backups out of this stuff, because that would be nifty. But yeah, I think there is actually even a CSI iSCSI driver or something, and it's just like, no, I don't want to set up iSCSI, right? All right, so we have to look at bind objects. I can't remember the parameters already. All right, we don't have to put the statement because that's already here. So then we have prefix, optional, right? Is that what we said here? Oh, we have nullable, not optional. Should it be optional or nullable? I can never remember. No, I do not have a 10 gig switch. If you have one you want to get rid of, I'll do half C's on shipping. Or if you're up here bothering Anthony, bring it with. We need to look for what was I looking for? Oh, nope. Yeah, G object introspection annotations. For out and in-out parameters, signifies that the caller can. Okay, we do want nullable here. Indicates that null may be valid value for parameter in-out, or return value, though not that the return and out values, which are only null when throwing an error, should not be annotated as nullable. Though note that return and out values, which are only null when throwing an error, should not be annotated. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So all the build agents that are running are the SBCs, which are on a different rack in my basement on a different UPS. Although I suppose I don't want to go down there. I could spin up one of the convey ones, but I shut down the BSD VMs too, the OpenBSD and FreeBSD. I'm literally running bare minimum power down there, so that in case we lost any power, the UPS will be able to keep the NAS alive as long as possible. I will be so happy and less stressed out when this is done. Did I say obj or object? I was on bind. Okay, I said obj, the object. Reads property. What do we say for this thing? Gets the value of a column for the current result. From the current. Updates the properties of an object based on the result, on the current result of a statement. Name. This should probably be Boolean, I guess. But what do I say in the issue? Okay, I did say it should be Boolean. Prefix. Oh, did I have that as const? Yeah, const card prefix g object obj gr blah blah blah. For prefixes to work, the statement will have to create an alias with the as keyword, something like the following: as message content, blah blah blah. The object has construct only property, something like the following could be done. All right. Okay. All right. Returns. I don't say what the value was, but returns. True on success or false on error with error set. Sure. Success could mean that you didn't read anything, there just weren't any errors. So, say similar to method state or method, yeah. Find object. Yeah. Don't need to say that. Like, if you know this, this is what you're doing. Say the properties of an object. This will look for columns with the same name of the properties in object. And if found, set the property in an object to the returned value. This is a helper around manually calling coalescing. Column int method at statement dot column. What's the other one? It's int text. Double. double column text, etc. I'm not gonna. We know we're gonna have ones in the future, so yeah. At prefix may be used to limit what columns to look for. Note that you will need to use the SQL as operate. What the hell would you call this? Function? What the hell do you call an as in SQL? That's not going to work. Oh, they say keyword. Okay, fine. That works for me. Keyword to you will most likely, although we could, yeah, no, I want to know what would you call that type of it, right? So like as is what, right? Yeah, I know how SQL works. I'm talking literally about what do you call as, right? As is a keyword. That works well enough to explain it to people, right? So to make the column names have the prefix. The other option here is, no, we're just gonna do it this way. I said we could try to make it the table name or something to make this a little easier, but this is fine. The following example. We did put this here, right? I did put this, yeah. All right, so select ID as message ID, content as message content. From messages, where conversation ID is conversation ID, order by create timestamp. I think that works. I think we have that elsewhere. Yeah. When you're doing a named parameter, it works, but not when you're trying to make it a column name. All right, I think that's intrinsic. That we should have to call it. How's it going, Chris? Welcome, welcome. How are you? Maybe mighty, but definitely not infallible. If you haven't been following along at home, you'll notice the graphs above me are not working. It's because my NAS is currently in repair because I forgot 6 characters when I was adding disks to the Z pool. That's all it takes. 6 characters. Oh, that's fine. Line string conversation ID is some random ID. I'm gonna call step message. I'm gonna call column object to get the message. Okay, cool. So that's that part. Note that the object must exist for this call, for this to work. So in the event, so if the object has a construct only parameter property, same as my log. Yeah, not quite. It wasn't that bad. It was raid Z space. That's what I forgot. So as a construct only property, you can use pull that out ahead of time and create the object and then call this function. See the following example. And yes, I'm aware Spaceballs 2 is coming. Jeez, what is this? Project management? Project management? We're writing docs and doc comments and stuff before we're writing any code? Are you really doing ZFS if you're not mirroring a pair of RAID Z3 pools? Dude, I put a single disk Z pool on an NVMe in a USB carrier. I think that's really doing ZFS. I'm aware that I'm aware. Oh, you mentioned last time. Okay, good. Sorry. A lot has happened since my last stream. And I have been super stressed and not sleeping and then trying to catch up on sleep and then working and yeah. Once the NAS is back up and running, which will happen tomorrow, unless something catastrophic happens, things should be good. And then I can add my new discs and we will all be happy. Note that true will be returned even if no columns have been found. Or we'll say read. Have been if no properties in that object have been updated. Use ZFS to mirror NVMEs all the time. Yeah, but I had a 512 gigabyte NVMe in a USB carrier that I used to create 18 terabyte sparse files so I could save my NAS. So yeah, I think that's called really doing ZFS right there. Like, there was no mirror. This was single disk pools just to create 18 terabytes sparse files to replace real disks so that I could free them up. Like, yeah. And send what? All right. We've got all that stuff. That looks okay. Seagull statement.c. Get statement something something column text. Column object. Wait, does that fit? No, it did not. Oh, kind of like YOLO. Yeah. All right, return true. G return val if fail is statement false. Do I remember how to code? It's been so long. G return val if fail is object false. All right, so we need to iterate through the properties again, which is going to be just like this one. Yeah, actually, we're probably... Yeah, let me just copy this and then we'll go from there. Like, there's probably some way to do this in dry, but, like, whatever, who gives a shit? Okay, cool. Alright, so we get the object class out of the object. The SQLite parameters start at 1 for whatever reason. So we go through the parameters in the... Oh, no, we don't have parameters here. We need the column names, and this gets funky dunky. The columns, SQLite columns, start at 0. That's important. So I have find column. What is Define column is going to have mostly what I want. Oh, no, this is different. No. Oh. I cached these, apparently? The problem is I don't know the name. Alright, we're going to skip that part. That's okay. What was the origin name? The origin name was slightly different. Oh, no. Origin name is if they used an as. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so this is different because I don't know the name yet. Is that supposed to storm? Oh, no, there's probably a truck going over the pothole in the road. Okay. There's no storms. Okay, well, there was storms. That's not coming back this way, right? No, it's going that way. Okay. Just super paranoid, right? I'm within the last 1/3 of restoring my NAS. So just like, let it go. Let it go. All right. We need to look at the SQLite API. SQLite C API. I don't want an introduction. I want the top level. Nope. Go documentation. Something. Programming interfaces. C API. List of functions. So there's like column count. Column count. Returns number of columns in the result set returned by the prepared statement. This routine is returns 0. That means prepared statement returns no data. Alright, so that'll give me... Wait, what is data count? Number of columns in the current row of the result set of a prepared statement. If prepared statement P does not have any results ready to return via calls to SQLite 3 column, family of integers. When data count P returns 0, the routine also returns 0 if P is a null pointer. Maybe. I hope that's fireworks. Somebody's having a fucking war outside. I have the windows closed and the air on because it's hot. I'm supposed to get to 90 plus Fahrenheit this weekend, which is like nearing 40 C, which is nuts. The heat index is supposed to be 40 C or 101 C. That's 38 C, but whatever. Number of columns in the current row of the result set. A prepared statement P. Okay, I don't think we give a shit about that. Yeah, well, you're used to it being hot. We are... I'm much further north than you are. Was 99? Yeah, so... Oh, okay, now it's down to 68, but whatever. I still have the air on through the day. Oh, no, whatever. Now it's saying it's 73 right now. This isn't super hot by any means. But... Yeah, so tomorrow, 84 Fahrenheit, 92, 93, 92. So, yeah. For those of you with other units, there you go. 29, 34, 34, 34. The heat index is supposed to be over 100. That's where you get to the 38 Cs, but yeah. It's disgusting for you today. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, our humidity's, 75% right now. Which is gross. 76 at 80. Jesus Christ. What's it like swimming in air all the time? Like, I walked outside of work today and it was like, oh, it's gross. And it's only 75. I can't even imagine 85. All right, so we get the column, then we can do column name. Oh, so this is the origin name versus the other crap. So this is where it gets real weird and shitty. The first argument, the nth column. Right. So the database routines return the database name, the table routines return the table name, and origin routines return the column name. The return string is valid until prepared statement is destroyed, or until the statement is automatically re-prepared by the call to whatever. What? Okay. For a particular run, or until the same information is requested again in different encoding. The names returned in the original unaliased names of the database table and column. So that's the origin name, but there's a different one in here that we are using or not. Okay, so origin name is that, but then we grab... Yeah, so the as column are only available via SQLite column name. So we have to check them as well and only add them if they're different. What a pain in the ass. You used to put on scuba gear to go outside. Fair. We aren't even the worst part of the year yet. Oh, yeah. July and August are usually worse here, too. 72 Fahrenheit, 89% humidity still, which is a little lower than earlier because of massive thunderstorms. Yikes. That's an NYC? Yikes. Alright, so it looks like we can use column origin name. Or I guess we should be doing column name first. And if column name returns null, then we'll use the other one. It's rough for NYC people. High today was 89. Yeah, that's not horrible. But that humidity fucking sucks. These routines return the name assigned to a particular column in the result set of a select statement. The SQLite 3 column name interface returns a pointer to a zero terminated UTF string and blah, blah, blah. Return string pointer is valid to the blah. The name of a result column is the value of the as clause for that column. If there is an as clause, if there's no as clause, then the name of the column is unspecified, may change from one release of SQLite to the next. Doesn't say it returns null, but okay. So 5. All right, so we're going to iterate through the columns. Which is going to be a little bit different here, but that's okay. Where the fuck is it? Column object. All right, so this will be n columns. N columns equals SQLite 3 column count. Is that what it was? Yeah, column count. Statement. Less than n columns. Used to be part of the Bridge Tunnel Crown in New Jersey. Fun. And I assume you meant crowd, not crown. Unless you're royalty now. I don't know. Whatever. I don't really care. Make yourself royalty. I don't care. Alright. So, we don't have... Oh, right. Okay. So this is going to get renamed to column name. Column name equals SQLite 3 column name. Statement, and then I, right? Oh, I think that's what that was. Yep. If column name equals null, then column name equals SQLite 3 column origin name. Statement I. The SQLite 3 column name returns the as name returns the name assigned with the as keyword. If no name was assigned, it returns null. So, and we just get the originating column, and we just get the name of the originating column. Yep, cool. Now we got the column name. Yay! Alright. If... Did we put a string check in here? I don't think we did. Verb string. Nope. Does this use? I don't think this uses verb even. I don't remember. Nope. Okay. It's fine. If prefix is not equal to null, then all right, so we're through that. Oh, all right. So we have SQL parameter to property name. Right. So this does that work for us. Nick Wan with the raid. Welcome, welcome. How you doing, Nick? Hope you're doing well. What's new in the world of data sci? Although every time I seem to raid you lately, you're just doing connections. No shade intended. But yeah. Oh, shit. I can't do a shout out. My bot doesn't work. But yeah, if you're not following Nick, go give him a follow. He works on data science stuff. And yeah. Yeah, I know Twitch. That's what I'm trying to do. Thank you. There we go. I have to remember how to do this without a bot. Connections, Andy. Yes. But welcome, welcome. Yeah, my bot's not working because I accidentally exploded my NAS earlier this week, and I am still in recovery mode on it. So my bot doesn't run because my bot runs in my Kubernetes cluster, but it depends on a volume, which was NFS mounted to my NAS. And the NAS is gone, so nothing there works. Yeah, so the bot's dead. At least for now. Oh, I see CM Griffin's here too. Welcome, welcome. How are you? How are you? But yeah, anybody does know me. My name is Gary Kramlich. Well, first of all, welcome. But my name is Gary Kramlich. I'm the lead developer of Pidgin Instant Message. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, maybe you used to use it, maybe you still use it, maybe you know by its old name of game. Either way, we spend all our time here working on that. Right now, we are working on a wrapper library for SQLite to make the SQLite API easier for us to use and to make it more familiar to our code base and people that use glib and other stuff like that. This library is called Seagull. And yeah. Holy Roman Empire with the 10 months. Thank you very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Huh. Looks like Gnome's, something's up with Element or Matrix.org. Oh, maybe it's working now. Okay. But yeah, so right now we are trying to write some helper functions to read the results from a SQL prepared statement into a G object. We just landed the pull request that will let us use G objects to bind parameters in a prepared statement. And then this is obviously the second side of that. So you use it for your mini golf game companion. Nice. Yeah, SQLite's not too bad. Just with what we were trying to do with it, the amount of code that we would have had to have dealt with it would suck. So yeah. We're just kind of working around that by building Seagull. So Seagull right now, how big is this thing even? So we're at 2,700 lines of code, and we were probably a third of that just to serialize one object in Pidgin 3. So it's like, oh, let's build a library that will make this much easier. So one of the things this library does is it forces you to use name parameters everywhere. And since we, so, I mean, I still have the branch. I can just show you. That's not, nope. So I don't remember how much of this we started saving, but oh yeah, there we go. Right. So the insert statement for a conversation to be serialized into the conversation manager database or table. There's the prepared statement, because we're going to do this again and again and again and again, right? For every conversation, we're going to store it in the database. And so we want to keep it around to keep it fast. And, you know, we'll just use the memory so we don't have to rebuild it all the time, right? But so, you know, there's the statement. And then because we want to use name parameters, and SQLite will let you use name parameters, but you still have to bind them by their index or look them up. So, you know, just to insert this statement, none of the foreign keys or anything. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 additional struct members just to keep track of those properties. Right? And then we had additional tables here and all this, right? And then, you know, when you actually start building this and doing all this, and dealing with the SQLite API and checking the return, right? It's just like, oh my God, this is, yeah, right? This is just serialization. Actually, conversation manager serialization. So that changed just to serialize, right? That's counting everything. That's a third of the source code for the entire library, right? And this is just one object. So how does it see? But in Python, you can pass parameters. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. That's some Python magic for it. And C doesn't have dictionaries, and the SQLite C API doesn't know what they are. So yeah. It is what it is. It's fine, but this library is meant to do a lot of that stuff for you. So, all right, where were we? We were going through the column. Oh, right, we were trying to figure out if we're going to make a thing for this name or not. So column name is a const right now, but prefix is not equal to null, and column or Gster has prefix column name comma prefix. I think that's right. Gster, I don't remember. Like, it'd be weird for the prefix to be first, but okay, second. All right, so if prefix is not equal to null and that's there, then we say, okay, yeah, then we just name a property name. Then we say property name equals Gster dupe. What's the better way to do this? I can just say column name plus stir length of prefix. I guess that's what we're gonna do. Else property name equals Gster dupe column name. Strip the prefix. prefix exists, strip it from the column name. Or determine the property name. Name of the property, removing the prefix if necessary. Okay. Then we look up the p-spec based on the property name. Ugh. If we didn't find a p-spec, move on to the next one. It's possible to align multiple objects to the same query. Yep. But now this gets different. Okay. Yep. We do still need a G value. G value new. Nope. I missed her. Okay. I don't know what the difference is between G value in it and the rest. Oh, right. Okay, we cheated before because we got the value this way. So we need to say G param spec. Get G type isn't right. Retrieves the G type of this p spec. This function is not directly available to language bindings. I think this is one. G param spec type. Right now, we're not using it here. That's fine. We'll see if this works. I think I was trying to use this originally, and that wouldn't work for whatever reason, but that's okay. I missed her. But yeah, so then we're gonna have to say G object set property, where we give it the name and the value. Okay, that's fine. So from here, we're gonna do. I guess we can just do. No, I don't want to do. Let's see. Switch G param spec type PSPEC. You're not getting none right now. Sorry. Slater's over here begging for treats like he does. Licking his bowl. Aye. What? Alright, so we switch on this case. Double, or G type double break. Case G type int break. Case G type string. We have to clear the param spec. No, the G value is what we have to clear. Okay. In this case, we just fuck. The control of this gets weird. I guess. So we do something like G value init value comma G type double G value set double value is equal like column double statement I. Oh, we're check. Oh wait, we can check the column type. All right, we should probably be checking the column type. We didn't do that on the other side either, but we'll do that later. Right now, this is make it work, and then we'll make it more. We'll harden it later. That's the. We actually don't even care about the rest of this code anymore. This is gone. Oh, right. Okay. We'll leave that for a second. Let me say G object set property obj property name comma value. I guess. Oh, right. That's just gonna call this. Oh, it hasn't been initialized yet. That's a problem. All right. That's weird and shitty. But yeah, so these will be roughly the same. Int. We should probably have additional types here. I'm not sure exactly what yet though. Then this would be local error equals G error new. Get rid of this. Siegel statement. Error. Column. Object. Property. Unknown. Type. Found object. Property. Get out of here. You're not getting any. Come on. No. For column %s, which has unknown type %s. Sure. G param spec get name psvc comma column name G. No, we don't have that yet. We are using G param spec type name. Okay. Then we unset the value, which won't work. Oh, yeah, it will. Okay. Oh, we can just check if it says. Okay, if value is not equal to. If value is not equal to G value in it, then G object set property obj prop name ampersand value. Yeah. I think that'll work, and then we can do this. I think that's okay, right? And then we don't have to do this multiple times. Cool. In theory, this does it. All right. Does the column float? Oh, it's equal light 3. My bad. Okay, yep, this doesn't exist. We have to create it yet. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work. Fuck. I don't know if there's a way to check if it's set or not. There's the hold stuff. I think there's a hold to any. Nope. Collect skip. Like, how do they check if this is set? Alright, let's do the air macro quick. And we'll come back to the rest of this. Also, I need to get water and I need to pee. And the next ad's in 24 minutes. Damn. Properties found for the given column. The value type is unknown. Alright, easy peasy on that one anyways. Alright, oh, we didn't use type either, apparently. Oh, this is dumb. This is real dumb. Oh, no, we use... Right. Yeah, we don't use a property name ever again. Yeah, this is dumb. Just get rid of property name. We can probably do the same thing up top. I just didn't think of it at the time. Oh, no, we don't. There we go. We just got rid of an allocation. Yay! And all the people that hate allocations will be happy now. Alright, but we still need to know whether or not we set, or the value is initialized. And I think we can just do if G value type is not equal to G type invalid, but I need to go look at some stuff first. G object, oh, okay, well, that's not quite what I'm looking for. G value type compatible. Nope. What the hell else takes a G value? Predicate. G value type compatible, G value type with the P spec value. And the value validate. Value is valid is not null and valid something, whatever. Then it just calls set property. I regret this. Oh, duh, I can just look at any of the G value API. Oh, well. G type check value type. Is value. Let's check value type. And G type check value type. Wait, what? The namespace is weird on that one. Grab G type invalid star.h. Okay, yeah, so if G value type value is not equal to G type invalid, then we should be okay. Oh. Right, we can use the pspec name from here. G param spec get name psvc. Valid optional annotation, only valid for in and out parameters. 286. Right. I was I looked up all this stuff for that and then I forgot to go and fix it. Okay, so we compile. That's good. We need to go and build unit test now. But before that, I have to go pee and get water. So I will be back in a few minutes. Be right back. I checked the NAS quick too. 47.5. We gotta get to 64.3, I think. Getting there. Slowly but surely. Alright. Let's go write some ridiculous unit tests. statement, column, object, no matches. Just equal statement, column, object, no matcherinos. Did I put a flower box in this? Test object, find tests. Column tests. This might get weird, but we'll see. Oh, no, this is fine. Okay, we'll create a new test object. We create a new database in memory. We create a new statement. We don't have to bind any objects, but we need to result equals seagull statement step statement error g assert no error error g assert true results result equal seagull statement column object statement obj so return we need to make a g object. Oh, we have a prefix before this, which is null. Error g assert new error error g assert true results. Okay, there that works. Or not, because it doesn't compile. Because I didn't change the name. 452. Alright, we got nothing for expanded. That's fine. The other one we were looking to see that the resulting SQL statement was proper, was correct, and that was our way for figuring it out. That's not the case here, so it doesn't matter. So that gets us through the first step, right? So there's the no matches. Woohoo! Well, actually, what we should be doing, we should validate what actually changed here. So this is gonna get messy because just like these ones, we're gonna have to build a migration, and then we're gonna have to load everything into it. Actually, why don't we do this? So we have this set up. New. Let's make it one called new empty. Right, that's all it does. Yeah. Because then, like, I don't want to have to go through and check all these parameters for everything, because that's going to be stupid. So we're just going to give it an empty object each time, and then we'll check the stuff that we're supposed to get. And the other stuff we shouldn't get. Alright, so new, empty, voila. Problem solved. Alright, cool. And memory leaks, not Valgrind, wrapper. No bytes lost. Yay! Sweet. Okay. Next test is with no prefix. Right, so we've got to build a migration to get the database to a known state, and part of our migration is going to be entering the data, which is going to be fun, but that's fine. Insert into obj boolean b double comma vintager comma v string values true 3.14 comma 42 comma Sammy. Okay. Select v boolean b double integer comma v string from oh shit, I was just gonna work with like a star. Ouch. We didn't build anything to get the it's probably easier this way. The number of columns or the number of rows, did we? I don't think we did. What's under aliases? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. SQLite 3, get number of rows. Okay, and that looks like garbage. Don't suppose anybody knows this off the top of their head, do they? From prepared statement, do you know how to get number of rows? I don't know that that's necessarily a thing for us. Like we can work through this and write the unit test in the right way, but it seems weird. It's like after you step for the first time. It's statement step? No, just step. What is status? Statement status. These interfaces are used to retrieve runtime stats about information about performance SQLite. Optionally to reset various high water marks. The first argument is integer code for the specific parameter to measure, recognize, blah blah blah. Huh. We might want to put this stuff in here. At some point. I think total changes is. Total number of rows inserted, modified, or deleted by insert, update, or delete statements completed since the database connection was opened. Nope. data count sounded like it can maybe be, but it said columns, right? There's a number of columns in the current row of the result side of the prepared statement. Prepared statement P does not have any results ready to return. I calls the SQLite 3 column family of interfaces and SQLite 3 data count P returns 0. Like, I don't know how we even get into that scenario, but each prepared statement retains various SQLite statements counters that measure the number of times it has performed specific operations. These counters can be used to monitor the performance characteristics of prepared statements. For example, if the number of table steps greatly exceeds the number of table searches or result rows, the two tend to indicate the prepared statement is using a full table scan rather than an index. This interface is used to retrieve and reset values from prepared statement. The first argument is prepared statement object to be interrogated. Yeah, I don't know. No. That's wait, huh? Why would I do a select star? Like, I'm trying to figure out how many rows are here, not how many columns. Right, like in the unit test, I'm gonna work around this. I'm gonna step again, and I'm gonna look to see that I have SQLite done. No. Okay. All right. So let's just go with this. All right. So select that from there. Like I don't want to put a limit 1 here. We're gonna test part of that here. New, empty. Run migrations from string. Create a new statement with the query. We don't have to bind the object. We don't have to do that. We need to say results equals. Actually, what is our step result return? Evaluate statement. If there's no data to read, false will be returned, but error will not be set. Okay. Result equals Seagull statement step statement comma error G asserts no error G asserts true result. Then we say result equals Seagull statement column object. This is no prefix. Statement comma null comma obj G object obj G assert no error G asserts true result. Now we need to check the parameters, make sure they got set right. So we want to say G assert true to Seagull object. Or no, we can just do this directly, right? Yeah, we didn't write accessors for all this stuff because that would have been stupid. Yeah, okay. Object dash v boolean G assert compare. Is there float or double? There's no double. I hope float will work. We'll see. What do we say? We said 3.14 that. An int is 42. Hold on. I'm messing myself up here. We might have to deal with this. Okay, for the property names, we put that there. The parameter names, we put that there. And the properties do not have the underscores. Okay, good. But I messed this up and this up. So we got all those, cool. Then we're going to say result equals eagle statement step statement error g assert no error error g assert false results. Or 82. All right. I didn't handle Boolean. That'll do it. Yep. Insertion failed. Error equals null. Found object property vBoolean for column vBoolean, which has unknown type G per. Oh, it's G param Boolean, which is different than I'm looking. Yeah. I don't think that's right though. That's not a thing, is it? I think it's param type, maybe? Like, I can go look, but it's more fun to just guess and check. G param type, or G type param. I guess we're looking. Ah. G-type param car. No, G-type param. Ooh. Yeah, that should be fine. I don't know where that comes from. This guy. It's in gparamspecs.h. Oh, because they're not constants, because it's a freaking list array. Ugh. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Gparam spec is not defined in here. Gparam.h. Okay, so we can look at the value type, I think. Checks whether the given G value can hold values derived from this. It's G type from instance. Yeah, so I think what we want to do is say pspec dash value type. Code should not be reached, so that means it made it to the end and all of our stuff matched. To better validate that, we will change the name of Sammy to Sammy exclamation point and see the failure there. Sammy equals Sammy exclamation point. Sweet. So that means this works. Which is awesome. Okay, so moving on. Next test is with a prefix. Again, with prefixes can get weird. You'll see why in a second. So we're just going to copy this test exactly because it's what we need. But when we do bind object, or statement colon object, prefix is going to be, what do we use in the other? I don't remember what we use for the prefix. Oh, apparently just, yeah, prefix underscore. Okay, sure, whatever. Prefix underscore. once again. G assert not reached, although we're not going to get there. Oh, actually, we should get there. Oh. That'll help. Yep, okay, so we got here, but we didn't actually... Wait, what? We shouldn't have made it past this. We should have died on that. Why did we make it that far? Oh. Oh. um if it doesn't have the prefix, then we just get the hell out of here. We have a prefix. It must exist in the column name. Okay. Let's do it this way. Prefix is not equal to null. Then if we don't have the prefix, then we continue. Else, piece back equals this. Yep. Okay. Good. Right, now we're failing where we expect to, right? So, no prefix was okay, but we failed on the next one. The way this outputs kind of sucks, but it's okay. So with prefix, we did our value didn't get set like it was supposed to, right? That's what we want. So now we have to fix the test to have the prefix, and just to make sure, whatever, we'll be fine. All right, so now this needs to say select v boolean as prefix underscore v boolean. So we're gonna do it this way. Select Okay. Cool. Now we made it to the end. The code should not be reached. Again, we can verify this by doing this. And we see that Sammy is not equal to Sammy. Right? Sammy the Seagull is fine. Alright, cool. This next one's going to get a little weird, but it's okay. So that was with prefix, and then we had multiple. The multiple one's going to suck because we have to build two objects and read twice, but that's okay. Oh, getting excited because this thing's getting close to being done. Alright, well, done enough that we can start using it, right? using it, but use it more. All right, so we inserted that one, and then the values from the other one are 0, 6.28. I think I did 24 for the other one. Yeah, 24, and then Sammy backwards. Okay. Yep. Our statement stays the same. Just now we have 2 rows, right? So we've got obj1 equals empty, obj2 equals empty. So we're doing this again. Actually, we can skip the prefix this time. We don't need to do the prefix for this, but we already know the prefix works. When we did the multiple before, we didn't do it this way. With mix, we did a prefix for some reason. Oh. With bind, okay, this is a little bit different with bind. Okay, that's fine. The bind can use the prefix. We're not going to use the prefix here because it's just going to complicate things. Right, so this can go back to, this is multiple, yeah. Because we're getting multiple results here, which is different than what we were doing before. Yeah. It'd be great if I'd get the syntax right the first time. Okay. Run migrations from strings, statement equals that. We do step, we get the first one with prefix. This is going to be obj1. Okay. Then we do result equals seagull statement step statement error g assert no error error g assert true results. Then we do this again with the different values on object 2. Oh, this should say object 1. We could be more pedantic and make sure we didn't like double up the values or anything, but this should be fine. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. So we called step results equals column object statement prefix underscore comma g object obj2 error g assert no error error g assert true results. Okay, now we can check the values. So 6.28 assert false pair int 24 y mass. Do that for a second. Then we do our step again to get that. Oh, this should all say obj2. G assert not and I don't think the mixed makes sense here, but that's okay. Obj1 v double is 0. Interesting. Why did you fail? What line? 630. Oh, because I have the prefix in here. Damn it. At least an easy mistake, right? $6.46. Aha. add input. Cool. So the mixed stuff made sense for binding, but in a column, when you're pulling out an object, you can only pull out one object type. Well, I suppose you would call it multiple times. This is multiple results, which I think is probably fine. Rather than pulling out, well, no, we can do mixed. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll do a mixed. One, we'll pull out an object and we'll pull out text too, right? Cool. So, this query might get weird, but maybe somebody can help. I doubt Floombort's around, unless he's lurking. He'd have the answer immediately. Otherwise, we'll just kind of figure it out. But we're going to copy from this one. Oh, no, sorry, not this one. Yeah, whatever. We'll do with prefix. Oh, no, this is fine. I'm being dumb. I'm being really dumb. I'm forgetting that I'm building the entire schema on the fly. I can just add another column. Derp. All right, so what we're gonna do is, this is just the normal one. Sure, we're not even gonna do the prefix, and that's fine. But so then we're gonna say other is integer, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it actually 6? What's the Spaceballs, luggage, code? Yeah, okay. I'm like, I thought I just went to 5. There we go. Yeah, okay. Well, you said 6 before. Or somebody said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm like, was it really go to 6? I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to get rid of the prefixes again because we don't care about them. Speaking of, I really need to watch Spaceballs again. Oh. Is it 6 error because you said it made... Oh, right, gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Alright, so we run the migrations, we get the statement. We have no prefix this time. Alright. So we called column object, cool. And then what we need is we need an integer int other equals 0. Other equals seagull statement. Column integer. I can't remember if we did int or integer. Statement, comma, other. I think, does that have an error on it? Right, we did column int. Okay, int does have an error. Assert no error, error, G, assert, compare, int, other, 4 or 5. Right, so we're just making sure that we can call these with multiples and that everything works as intended, right? Code should not be reached. Again, we're going to do this. We're going to put that 6 there. Make sure we got a failure. I didn't hit the thing right. Right, cool. That's all looking good. And just to verify, we can verify this one's good too. Extra verification. Yep. All right, that's it. That went much better and faster than I thought it would. It'd be nice if we were caching the columns and stuff. I think that's something we can do later. That doesn't need to be in this revision of it. Right, so like, yeah. It gets weird though with the prefixes. So yeah, I'm not so much worried about that part. Like maybe later we'll do it. Right, but then like we'd only build the cache while you're going through it the first time, but yeah, it gets weird and shitty. You'd have to like clear the cache somehow. Or maybe it's there until you reset, and then on reset we get yeah, I don't know, whatever. That's all just noise right now. Let's make sure the docks look okay. Of course, I closed them. Error domains, statement error, column object property unknown, since 04. Yep, okay, cool. Seagull, classes, statement, column object, updates the properties of any object based on the current result of the statement. Yeah, the code gets a little complicated, but you know, you're actually interacting with the database. It's going to be a little bit, so. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. This is Seagull 7. Add bind results into an object. What? Oh. Yeah, that's a mistake. Yep, that's the problem. What we're probably going to do is nuke this whole thing, because I was supposed to do that, all of that over here. Bind built columns into an object. But to get that stupid mistake out of here, we're just going to reclone verb, and that's okay. This is why I have a an alias for the Pidgin clean to not let me run the branch command, because I do stupid shit like that sometimes. It's annoying, but it happens. Something going on in the YouTube chat? Because it looks like it, but like it looks like I keep catching something out of the corner of my eye, but then nothing happened. But it looks like something moved past the like scroll bar. There is no scroll bar. Oh, we're gonna refresh YouTube just for lulz. No, it looks fine. Nothing changing. Okay. Oh no. Testing done. Ran the unit tests under Valgrind and called in the turtles. I didn't actually do that yet. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They say our tests are passing. I really forced that one, didn't I? So we might have to expand this out with additional types and stuff like that. And we'll figure that out, right? As we get going here and we start actually trying to integrate. Elixir Bootlin, kernel subscript. Yeah, it's a tool called Anubis. And remember, I run all the I Am Freedom stuff. So, yeah. There was somebody, who was it? I think it was FreeBSD or something. They changed the picture, and I need to do that too. What we'll probably do is have it be the normal Pidgin, just the normal head, whatever, and then when you pass, we'll put on the glasses. But I need something for like him being angry or something. But yeah, like Anubis is a nuke for it. But Anubis is open source too. Like I've been fighting them stupid AI bots forever. I basically like I'm banning entire ANs, or whatever automated numbering systems, ANSs, whatever they're called, AS, whatever. I'm just blocking entire IP blocks, and I still was losing because I couldn't find all of them that Alibaba Cloud has and other stuff, and Anubis just takes care of it. Although I need to update Anubis. I haven't updated it since I deployed it. But either way, our systems aren't getting hammered anymore, which is amazing. And yeah, I even started doing a patron of Z's because of Anubis. It's just like, thank you. You have saved me so many headaches. Can't even tell you. But we haven't had to put it in front of the issue tracker yet. But reviews and the code hosting, we needed it. Well, I guess it's assigned to me now. In progress. Open pull request. Yeah, even Discourse. Discourse has been fine with everything too. No, because I don't want to use them. Like, I know everyone's like, yeah, Cloudflare, it's so easy to set up and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, I don't want to... I don't, like, well, number one, minus their stuff about their password checking, which was just gross. Like, you know, it's a single point of failure for the internet. The internet's not supposed to have single point of failures. But people keep doing it because it's easy. And that's a shitty reason. So, Anubis, you host yourself. Anubis is actually only really good for a single URL or whatever. You don't do it for more than one. So the Anubis in front of reviews.iamfreedom.org is different than the one that's in front of keep.iamfreedom.org. They're different instances of Anubis. There's not like one master one that goes around and does everything, although maybe they've updated it to do that. I don't know. Yeah, not too worried with that. All right. 29 builds in the queue. Yep. No agents. Yep. We'll get there. All right. So I think we're gonna get out of here early. I'm still super tired. You like Akamai? I mean, I'd assume you get Akamai protection just by using DigitalOcean now, because they bought DigitalOcean, or not DigitalOcean, Linode. Like the whole reason I ended up on DigitalOcean, I used Linode forever, and the reason we ended up on DigitalOcean was they had managed Kubernetes before Linode did. So then we just kind of stayed there, went from there. Where do we want to go? I guess we'll go raid Dennis. Although he's watching some video or something. I don't know. Whatever. All right, we're gonna get out of here though. I've got to get some rest because I am tired. So, we're gonna go raid Dennis, aka Last Miles. If you don't want to join the raid, you can go ahead and hit cancel up above. YouTube, I don't know that he has a YouTube or not, but here's a link to him on Twitch. Anyways, in the meantime, thank you everybody for coming by tonight. I would give you the links to all my stuff, but like I said earlier, my bot is down because my NAS is not up and running, and it should finish tomorrow, I hope. And thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Well wishes for the rest of my NAS because, yeah, I really hope it goes easy too. But anyways, I may or may not be on this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. Follow me on social media, mastodon.social/Grimmy, I think. Or just go to reaperworld.com and you'll find links to all my things. Here, I can do that one for you. reaperworld.com. I don't know the Discord link for Pidgin off the top of my head or a good way to get to it. But, you know, all my social media links are right over here too. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for coming by tonight. And until next time, adios.